The president loved his visit to India. The United States doesn't want anyone buying Russian oil. The president has been very clear on this. He wants this war to end. Thank you all for sticking around. We had a few meetings upstairs that we're wrapping up on. Good morning. I'm thrilled to be here today, along with my colleagues from the White House and the State Department. And we wanted to get a few of your questions. From my first day at this embassy, I promised that I would work on taking this relationship to the next level. And one of the things that I announced in my first day at the embassy is that we would extend an invite to India to join Pax Silica, this vitally important initiative that the United States is leading on. And today that promise became a reality. And so we're thrilled by that. We're natural partners. AI is here to stay. And so working together with India will create incredible opportunities for both sides. And with that, I'll turn it over to Jacob Hellberg.
Thank you so much, Ambassador Gor. It's a pleasure to join my colleagues here in India. We were honored to welcome India to Pax Silica. As you know, Pax Silica does not follow typical geopolitical geometries. It is a coalition of capabilities, and India is by far the country that has the world's deepest bench of talent, and we think will be a key contributor to helping us amortize R&D costs through scale. Scale is key to competitiveness, and we look forward to working with India to strengthen our shared supply chains. With that, I'd like to welcome Director Kratsios to say a few words as well.
Yes, one of the main messages here in India has been all about AI impacts. And the story that the United States wants to bring is that we as a country want to share the great American technology stack with the world. We want every country in the world to be able to realize the benefits of AI, and there's no better partner in the world and no better set of technologies than those provided by the United States. Today, we unveiled a suite of initiatives across the whole of the U.S. government to support the export of our great technologies abroad, and we believe that is the best solution and best path forward for countries that want to realize these benefits.
We'll take a few questions. Sure.
Hi, sir. I'm Siddhant from Beyond. When can we see the signing of the India-US trade deal? There are reports that it will be signed in March. And secondly, how do you see India-US relationship going forward this year?
I think we have a great relationship. I think it comes down to multiple things. The first thing is the great friendship between our president and your prime minister. The signing will happen very soon. In fact, even this week, we have both teams are talking to each other and actively getting to a place where both will be able to sign. Look, the reality is there's tens of thousands of points. We're not dealing with a small country. This is one of the biggest economies. And so we're thrilled that the interim deal is done. You have the few tweaking points that are left to do, but it's done. So the signing will happen sooner than later. Sure.
Sir, I'm Vishal from ABC News. India and the United States signed an interim trade deal and now the Pax Silica deal. And how important are these steps for India-US relations? And can we see President Trump visit to India very soon?
Incredibly important. We're looking for initiatives where the United States and India can work together. And Pax Silica leads at that. AI leads at that. What Director Kratsios announced, the fact that we're coming here with a message to India that our stacks, our abilities, our AI technology is something that we want to work with Indian companies with. We're not offering that to everyone around the world. It's something that we bring specially here to this place. In terms of the president's visit, the prime minister invited him. I don't have any announcements for you soon yet. The president loved his visit to India. When he nominated me to be ambassador here, one of the things he said is the vibrancy, the color, and the history and the culture that you're going to see in India is unmatched. And so I'm sure he will be back here at some point.
I'm Jessica Taneja. I work for the public broadcaster Doordarshan. With the critical tech being weaponized increasingly day by day, and you announced that in Pax Silica as well, what more steps are India and the United States taking in order to prevent, say, critical tech where export control of rare earth minerals could be one, and other tech as well? What is it that both the countries are planning on that?
That's a great question. I'll let Kratsios perhaps take that, or Jacob?
Sure. So as you rightly point out, we have one global supply chain that most of our companies rely on. A lot of key segments of that supply chain are very geographically concentrated in one place. And as we see through Pax Silica, there's actually a very broad consensus between U.S. policymakers as well as our partners on the need to de-risk those supply chains. We're very excited about Pax Silica joining. about India joining Pax Silica. India brings to the table a lot of refining capacity for critical minerals. It has one of the deepest benches in terms of raw human capital. That's why a lot of American companies already have operations here in different tech hubs across India. And so we're looking for ways that we can actually complement each other's strengths. The U.S. leads the world in terms of the most valuable technology companies by market cap, as is represented by the business delegation that actually came to the AI Impact Summit. And so we're very optimistic about deepening those relationships in ways that are mutually beneficial to secure our supply chains.
Excellent. Yes. Mr. Ambassador, I am Lomas from INS News Agency. My question is your view about AI.
I think it was highly successful. I think it's a testament to your Prime Minister. This is when the intersection of AI is the United States and India right now. And it happened here in New Delhi, and we're thrilled to be part of it.
Just to ask you, the formal signing of the deal may happen in March, but the executive order to reduce the tariffs on India to 18%, are we expecting that anytime soon? And what about the monitoring mechanism with regard to Russian oil? How will that work?
So two things. On the oil, there's an agreement. I also don't want to be given out too much in the sense that what private conversations happened occurred between the two leaders. We have seen India diversify on their oil. There is a commitment. This is not about India. The United States doesn't want anyone buying Russian oil. The president has been very clear on this. He wants this war to end. And so anyone who is, in a way, still involved with that conflict is something that the president wants to see come to an end in hopes of peace coming with that. On the first part of your question, that is also, there's multiple mechanisms. It's not one executive order. So that is making its way through the pipeline. The executive order specifically on oil was already signed. So that's done. The second part of it on the tariffs being rebalanced, there's multiple things. It's not just one piece of paper. It's multiple things, multiple departments, multiple areas. And so that'll also happen very soon.
Ambassador, the situation. Who would you not, from Le Monde, France, who would you not want to share this American AI stack with? And are you in favor or against open source AI?
I'll let Michael say.
We generally want to share the stack with everyone in the world and especially our partners and allies. With regards to open source, we were very clear that we're very supportive of open source, of a vibrant open source ecosystem. That was laid out specifically in our AI action plan in July and is one that we believe will be an integral component of the stack that we export globally.
Go ahead.
Ambassador, there have been two major achievements after you coming here. One is the trade deal announcement. Today is the signing of the Pax Silica. Now, when can we expect Quad Leaders Summit to be taking place?
Great question. Look, and the achievements, I appreciate your kind words, but it takes a lot of people. It's hundreds and thousands of people from across the government. It's the friendship and the relationship between our two nations that ultimately gets these things across the finish line. The Quad is very important. When Secretary Rubio got sworn in, I was there for his clap-in. That was his first hour when he arrived at the State Department. The first meeting that Secretary Rubio did right after was with the Quad. And that sends a message to the world. He didn't meet with anyone else. It was the Quad. It was literally minutes after he came into the State Department. So that's something we're fully engaged on. We're actively in talks. And that, in fact, I'll share this with you here. I don't have exact dates, but Secretary Rubio will be traveling to India very soon, in a matter of months. And so that'll be part of the Quad along with many other initiatives.
If, Rob Booth from The Guardian, if India takes American AI and AI becomes as powerful as it's predicted in the economy, isn't there a risk that India then becomes controlled by America and there's a new form of kind of digital colonialism that might happen?
Jacob?
I would say it's actually the opposite. I believe any country in the world that builds on top of the American AI stack will have the most open, independently controlled, secure stack that the world has to offer. And that's why we're so eager to share it with so many countries that are prioritizing AI sovereignty.
Ambassador, this is Yeshi Sethi from Business India. India has been importing 2% oil from Venezuela. How is that oil going to come to India? Is it going to be via the US now? So have the dynamics changed of direct import from Venezuela?
I don't want to get into that. Some of that aspect has not been announced yet, but there are active negotiations. The Department of Energy is speaking to the Ministry of Energy here, and so we're hoping to have some news on that very soon. But you're ahead of the curve. So, go ahead.
Ambassador Meghna Mittal from Money Control. I want to ask you that
How do you expect countries to share responsibility under Pax Silica, and what gives you the confidence that it will be able to form that alternative front for critical minerals that we are looking for?
Sure. Do you mind repeating the second part of your question?
What gives you the confidence that Pax Silica will be able to form that alternative front that countries are looking for procurement of critical minerals?
So in terms of shared responsibility, one of the things that makes Pax Silica effective is that it's not just a G2G platform, it's also a platform that allows businesses to actually forge partnerships, private sector to private sector. Part of the spirit of the Trump administration is we believe in industry and we believe in markets, and so we're not trying to replicate private industry in-house. We want to help facilitate private sector partnerships that actually allow us to secure our supply chains through things like offtake agreements and the rest. The other point is instead of using taxpayer dollars to make investments, we're looking at incentives. And so the Trump administration, through deregulation, through energy abundance, has put in place powerful incentives that allows the private sector to lead. So we are very excited to actually be here because the AI Impact Forum in India is a great hybrid platform between governments with private industry. And so we were very excited to be able to have those hybrid conversations.
Well, we do one last question here. Go ahead. We'll do both. Last two.
So, Prime Minister talked about the inclusive AI. What are your thoughts regarding that? And what are the challenges you feel AI has it right now?
Michael?
Yeah, so on inclusive AI, that's, again, another premise of our American AI export program. We believe that the entire world can benefit from our best-in-class, trustworthy American stack. And it's something that we're going to work very, very hard over the next year to make sure that we get in the hands of as many people around the world as possible.
Ambassador, my question is related to the technology stack, and that the United States has said that you want the world to sort of build on that stack. What will it entail in terms of your expectations from India? And the second part of my question is with respect to the joint statement on the India-US trade deal. You mentioned that we need to address burdensome practices and other barriers to digital trade. What burdensome practices is the United States looking at?
Yeah, with relating to India, one of the programs we announced today is called the National Champions Initiative. And the thesis behind that is that when we export a stack around the world, it is not an America alone stack. It is one where we openly want to integrate the national champions of the countries that we're exporting to into the stack itself. So there are so many tremendously amazing AI companies and technology providers here in India, and I very much see that they will be a critical part. They will be a critical component of the stack.
We're thrilled that India joined Pax Silica. We've actually gotten a lot of demand from other nations, a lot of interest. And right now, this is the plan, is the nations that we have right now. And so for India to be at the cutting edge of this, America has the best technology. If you saw the companies that are represented here today, this is an incredible partnership for both of our nations, and we look forward to taking it to the next level. Thank you all so much.